As it is written, the kingdom is within us. Come together and discuss the issues within the kingdom. Speak your peace. Speak the truth. For the kingdom is at hand. Kingdom Conversations.
Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings to the whole house, aka the Northern and Southern Kingdom, better known as the superheroes of the earth, the kingdom of the Israelites. Father, thank you. Thank you once again for allowing me to come before your people, our people, my people, the book people. Thank you for allowing me to come in fellowship with them this hour. And I thank you for all of the work that you gave us in the different writings that you gave us, whether they be in the Bible, whether they not be in the Bible. We thank you for all the writings that we've seen and the ones that we haven't seen. We thank you for the more sure word of prophecy. Only people that decoded the book and the prophecies in the book were the Israelites. You have modern day Israelites walking around, been telling you what was going to befall the earth, and that's what the Father pressed upon them to give to the earth, to reach the people. We thank you for that, Father. We thank you for the Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, because without the Spirit, we would be in bad case and we wouldn't have been able to decipher the book. Without the Holy Spirit, who some call the Holy Spirit, the Ruach, without the Ruach, we would still be in Christianity. We would still be lost and turned out like Olivia, like that song Olivia by the Whisters. You'll still be lost and turned out Israelites. You'll still be running around chasing the zigzag man, aka that hippie heroin addict of Christianity, that liar they call Jesus, which is really Zeus, whatever the hell his name is. You'll still be chasing him. The stained glass, stringy hair, hippie heroin, Christian Bale addict. You still be chasing him. All praise to the Father leading us back to the book and what the book says, how we should be conducting ourselves. And how you should be conducting yourselves is only one way. And thank the Holy Spirit for revealing that the one way to us, which is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. The only way you have. Only way you have. Get back to the Father. Get back to the book. Thank Mashiach. The real Mashiach, not stained glass. Not the one that came out of, who's that liar? The one they had playing as most, Charleston Heston. Not him. We're talking about the real one. The one that probably looked like me or you or all my family in the chat. Who did he say he come for? Somebody better go give me that precept. Don't let me have to take time to go find it. Who he say he came for? He said he come not for who? So you can take Christianity and all its 2.1 billion adherents and throw it in the garbage and call it rightfully garbage, because that's exactly what it is. It's garbage. And we done woke up. Now that we woke up and say, yeah, we done woke up. We not only not accepting your garbage, we not praying for you. Not only are we not praying for you, we not forgiving you for all the heinous acts that you done to our ancestors and that you attempting to do to us this day. But we thank Mashiach for his work. the light that was called. Thank you, Mashiach, for the work. Greetings to you, fam. It's good to see you that are here. I see a lot of you are here, and it's good to see you. And I have missed you all, and you have been missed. But it's for me, it's doing KC is a process, and it's very very draining. And once you get done doing a show, it's like, for me anyways, I'm up in age, which I'm not up in age. I don't think I'm up in age. I just use that as an excuse, to be honest with you. But it is very very draining and taxing on one's spirit and on one's physical well-being. And so that's why I really pulled back. But we're working on some other things in the background, so we've got some projects that we're working on. So we're going to get back to, and we have been getting back to, what Salt of the Earth is. And you'll notice the name. It's Salt of the Earth Productions. It's not Salt of the Earth Ministry. It's not Salt of the Earth Church. Never has been. It's not Salt of the Earth Camp. Although we were out there on the highways and byways. We were out there street teaching. We were out there battling against them evil, wicked demons, whether they be Catholic, whether they be a few, whether they be a mind boggled and lobotomized so called Black African American Christian. We did battle with all of them. Had ones coming up taking pictures of us, looking like an Israeli or Israel liar, coming up taking pictures of us. I remember all them times. But it's good to see you, fam. It's good to be here with you. And you could have been anywhere. Right now, I live, you guys know I live in Southern California, right there on the tip. So I jumped on right when the so-called Hurricane Hillary is supposed to be hitting, right? And right now we just getting a bunch of rain. And so that's probably what it's going to amount to, a bunch of rain, a high wind, but the flooding that is going to bring is going to be more problematic than anything. It's not, supposedly it's not a category 1 anymore, but you can't believe what the lying media say, because every time you see news on TV, 99% of the time it's a bunch of lies. So when you're watching the news, just know that it's lies, and you should be treating it as this entertainment, just for the entertainment value of it, and that's it. Don't put your life into it. Don't put no stock into it. Just know that they lying. Anytime you see your enemy on TV telling you something, just automatically your first instinct should be, he or she is a liar. I'm not going to listen to it, or I'm just going to laugh at it. So greetings to you, fam. Good to see you. As we normally do, I'm going to greet everybody that's in the chat, and we'll take time to shalom everyone and greet everybody. And I miss you all. And I'll try not to be too far in between on times that I will do shows. There have been plenty of times that I have wanted to jump on live and do some things. And when shows do come on live, I wanted to let you guys know that I am in the background. I am watching all the comments. I'm reading all of the lives, and I'm reading everything. I read everything that happens in the comment section, and I read everything that happens live. So it's not nothing that gets by me. It's not nothing that I don't miss. And I read all the comments. So starting from the top, working down, I'm gonna start with my brother Darnell. I saw your quote in there earlier, Danielle. Peace and blessings to you. Peace and blessings, Jason Philip McCauley, JPM. Good to see you, brother. Daniel 5:5. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand. He's talking about somebody that took the form of a man's hand and started writing something, and wrote over against the candlestick upon the pilaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. And so the king actually got to see the hand of somebody or something that was very, very important to this construct that we live in, called this universe, this simulation, if you want to call it that. Some people call it a simulation. Some people say that we're actually in a video game. Whatever it is, the Father created it. Whatever it is, He spoke it into existence. Now what? You could say whatever you want, but whatever you want to say, the Father still created it, so it doesn't make a difference. And if you want to prescribe to the Big Bang, okay, that's fine. But who caused the bang? Did He just call itself, or did the Father say, "Let there be," and pow? In the discussion. Elahu B, shalom, peace and blessings. Good to see you. Hope all is well with you. Chaperone One, shalom, family. Shalom to you. Peace and blessings to you. Also, family, when you guys are in here, I forget because it's been a minute. You better be greeting everybody that's in the chat. I want to hear everybody shalom, everybody else in the chat, because when we get to where we're supposed to be, you're not going to be not shaloming them, and you're not going to be acting stuck up or being funny style. You're going to be shaloming everybody, so you might as well get into the habit now, shaloming everybody, just like I'm a shalom everybody. And smile, peace and blessing to you, sis. Hope you're well. Pam Yah Israel, peace and blessings, sis. Shabbat shalom, Akim, and salt of the earth, and my chat family, peace and blessings. Anonymous, good blessings to you. Peace and blessings, shalom family. Hope you are well. JPM, we got you. Let's see. Romy Black, shalom, sis. Peace and blessings to you, shalom family. Scattered to the four corners, blessings. Yeah, blessing to Israel. Blessings to the whole house to Israel, no matter where they be scattered. And may the Father please bless and protect them and prosper them. And let them know that what they should be doing this hour. Omaya Yakida, peace and blessings to you, sis. Shalom. Hope all is well. Hope Maria is doing well as well. Let's see, Daniel Blackshear, peace and blessings, brother. Hope you are well. Casey Yah, shalom, peace and blessings, sis. Albany, Georgia, peace and blessings, sis. Hope you are well. Hope the Father's been keeping you. My good sister, Wise Society, peace and blessings, sis. Been watching your channel, watching all the great work that you do, and I did see your email. I haven't responded to it yet because it's a little bit premature, but once the time comes, we will definitely include you. And I haven't forgotten that we need to finish up them shows. So we'll have to coordinate, and within the next, I guess, couple of weeks or week or so, we can continue on, because if you're not subscribed to the sister's channel, you all need to be subscribed to her channel, because she's putting in great work for our youth. And our youth have been forgotten in these bastions of demonic activity called public fool system. And we have all, and your brother say, I speak for myself, we have all but abandoned them. But we got sisters like this sister putting in great work. So good to see you, sis. Hope you are well. JPM, I see you. Roby Black, I got you. Pensacola, hey sis, hope you're well. Shalom, beloved brother Cleo, missed you. All praise to the Most High. Miss you too, sis. Hope you've been well. Hope your family's been well. Hope the Father's been keeping and blessing and prospering you. Nalad T, peace and blessings, brother. Hope you're well. Shalom to you. Hope all is well. Hope you've been blessed. Darnell Blackshear, I got you early. I'll get you again. Peace and blessings to you, brother. Hope you are well. Let's see here. Samara, unorthodox daughter of Zion. Shalom, sister. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. We got all the troublemakers in here today. Taurus Hebrew, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Hope you are well, and hope the Father's been keeping you. And y'all know my blessings for you is that the Father prosper you all. Not just the ones that come into the chat, but that he bless all Israel. Israel is do you see the transition that's happening, that the tail is becoming the head? And like we've been saying on these shows, you can go back and check them. Everything that happened on the earth is because of the Israelites. Nothing that goes down is not because of you. If the Father say you are the apple of his eye, if he says that, then that means that somebody's going to be looking for you. Somebody going to be looking to press you and oppress you. Somebody going to be going to their father and saying, well, how can we keep these niggers in check? How can we keep these niggers down so that they don't prosper, so that they don't figure out who they're... Okay, so now we done already figured it out. It's too late. So let me keep going down. Here. I see all the comments. Yeah, it is pouring, sis. It's coming down, but it's not coming down like I thought. And it hasn't, the eye hasn't hit yet. It's supposed to hit in the next couple of hours or so, but I'm thinking that, and as my wife was saying, it's going to be just a bunch of rain, but the flooding in the different mountain and areas and whatnot, that's where we're going to get the most damage and whatnot. And the funny thing is, I've been waiting for the last year, and have been thinking, with all the things and calamities that have been going on all over the earth, I've been wondering to the Father, hey, Father, when is California gonna get hit with something? We due for something, you know. Where California is due, Because there's not a corner of this wicked place called the United Snakes of America that's not due for something. And Ron to Satan, Ron to Hasatan, man, you living on borrowed time, and I'm gonna leave you at that. Let's keep going. Marcella Smith, peace and blessings, sis. Hope all is well. Yeah, infotainment. That's right. That's all it is. That's all it is. A bunch of lie. Y'all blazing in the chat. I'm slowly catching up with y'all. LNL, peace and blessings, sis. Hope all is well. Elias Shaw, peace and blessings, bro. Hope all is well. Elias Shaw, what's good, man? Hope all is well, man. You got the link. Go ahead and jump in if you need to, want to, desire to. Go ahead and rock out. Let's see here. We'll be saying shalom in the new language. That's right. Let's see. Sister Tanisha, hope all is well. Peace and blessings to you. Hope I haven't missed anybody as I'm going down. But y'all shalom and everybody. Yeah. Y'all's about to write an X over this country. Yes, funny. We're going to talk about that. We're going to lead off with that, JPM. And reason why we're going to lead off with that is because of the fact that, well, we'll get into that after I shalom everybody. We'll get directly into that and start chopping that up in a minute. Mark B Fitness, good peace and blessings, brother. Hope you are well, brother Cleo. Man, we miss you in my household. Hey, peace and blessings to you, Mark B. Hope your family's been blessed. Hope the Father's been prospering you and giving you great ideas. Because when the head becomes the tail, we all have to be in a position to take over leadership positions, not take over positions of being subservient to your enemies and thinking about saving them. Every one of your enemies to Israel right now could go to hell with gasoline draws on. And your brother C wouldn't give a hot damn about them. I said that before. This ain't nothing new. Y'all know how I get down. I don't give a damn about the enemies and those try to save. I got you all, Israel. Peace and blessings, brother. Shalom, my Hebrew Israelite family. One love to all. That's right. Peace and blessings to the family. Keep going down. Read this precept, my sis Peter. Sister Tanisha says, Job 2:2. And the Father said unto Shaitan, from whence comest thou? And Shaitan answered the Father and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. And what was he trying to do? What was he trying to do? Same thing that he always been trying to do, trying to destroy the apple of the Father's eye. His laser guided focus has always been on them. And so has his children. His children hate you not because of your skin color. Don't get it twisted. They understand that who their enemy is because we the enemy of their father. So if we the enemy of their father, quite naturally, we're gonna be the enemy of their children. And see, you have been in a world war since you have been here, and you have never understood that you were in a war. Your ancestors didn't tell you that part. They forgot to tell you that part. Christianity left out the fact that Mashiach was the word. So if Mashiach is the word, then Mashiach is also the law, statutes, and the commandments. So if Mashiach is also the law, statutes, and commandments, how can you do away with him, sir or ma'am? Please explain that to me. How can you do away with Mashiach when the man says he comes in the full volume of the book? Meaning you gonna say the law is done away with Christianity? You said the law is done away with. The law is done away with. Reason why the heathen want the law is done away with because they know that it don't apply to them. Christianity, the made up false religion that led the whole world to damnation and destruction. Point blank. Period. Hey, there go my sis. Hey sis, how you doing? Let me put you up, sis. Good to see you. See you, Mary Ayakita Aki Cleo. Nice to see you back. I've been praying for you. Appreciate that, sis. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I really do appreciate that. So we're going to get into today's conversation. And I only have one thing really that I want to talk about. And it's something that I found as I was thinking about the X. The X that's going to occur over the United Snakes of America. That bastion of wickedness, that bastion. I'm not saying the word bastard, although I could, but I'm not saying that. That bastion of wickedness, not morality, death and destruction. It's the center or the so-called leader of the Western construct. And the heathens are proud of what they've done. They're proud of their handiwork that they enslaved you. But they want to make America great again. And what make America great again means is that they want to go back to subjugating you and to having them press down over you so that they can continue to run amok. Okay? But according to the book, that is not so. Somebody get the precept where it says pour for her double. Who's getting double pour for them? Who would that be? It's not me or you because we've already been through tribulation. So if we already been through tribulation, then why do we have to go through tribulation again? What is Jacob's trouble? Is Jacob's trouble for Jacob, or is Jacob's trouble for those who inflicted and harmed and injured Jacob? See, that's where they make the error. So the only thing I'm really going to discuss is, and I do want to open up the comments section. I do want to open up this discussion on current events from your perspective and what's happening. I really do, because I want to hear where everybody is accordingly. So when that time comes, I'll be asking about that. So I want to talk about the X. And the X is an interesting thing. And I was on talking to my brother Banya yesterday, and I had actually stumbled upon something that was kind of interesting. And I'm going to share my screen. Now, I'm not in authority, nor do I have any intrinsic knowledge on what the movement of the celestial beings mean. We do have others that are within Israel that are proficient, and this is called staying in your lane. I know what my lane is, and I know what my office is. That we do have Israelites that understand the stars. We do have Israelites that do understand astronomy and astrology. We do. And so they would be a better authority to be able to speak on what it is that I'm about to show. But I will say this: everything that happens in the celestial, with the celestial beings, and what I mean by those beings are the sun and the moon and the different entities that are up there. They have been given names by the heathen, which more than likely those are not their real names. But for the sake of this broadcast, we're going to just use the names that they use, okay? Because we don't know what the Father named them, right? We know that the sun is a he. Father said that. The moon is a she. The Father said that. So when the book says the Father said about the she that she gives her own life, so she not the lie that these enemy scientists have taught you. She not getting her life from the sun. Never have been and never will be. You better say that. See, you better say that. You better say that. He created them as a sign and for seasons and for years. He created them as a sign. Focus on that. There's a sign. There's an X that's going to be drawn, that's going to be completed over the earth. Now, you cannot believe in astrology or astronomy, but those entities above do have an impact on what happened and what goes on planet Earth. Point blank, period. I'm gonna go ahead and shalom the rest of the family that's come out. I've seen some other folks that's come in. Let's see. Uh, Camster email, peace and blessings to you. Hope all is well with you. Let's see, Kalia Smith, peace and blessings. Hope I pronounced that right. Peace and blessings to you. Hope all is well. Mr. The Original School, peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Greetings to Saudi Air Productions and True Israelite on the chat. That's what's up. True Israelite, not the fuse, not them fake phony Israelites. That's what they are. I call it for what it is. You not the people of the book. And I'm not going to argue with you about it because I've been past arguing and debating about it. It's not even a debate anymore. If you find somebody that fits all of the curses and all of the things that will befall the Israelites, and you're able to point those people out on the earth and say, yeah, they match everything that's talked about in the books that we read, even the books that we didn't read, and even the books that they said wasn't canonized by either evil, wicked Vatican and a liar bastard Pope. Yeah, I called him that because that's what he is. You was never no vicar of no Mashiach. You the vicar of Hashatan. Point blank. You can run this back and say that, yeah, that's what Brother C said. That's exactly what he said. So anyway, I'm not an authority over what the celestial beings and how they interact and what capabilities they have, or none of that. If you want to understand that, then you would be wise to get with those that do and seek out the Israelites that keep the law, statutes, and commandments, that have faith in Mashiach according to what the book says, not according to what I say, and use them to get information and draw information from them. Now, the image that we have normally seen is the X, right? But what I'm going to submit to you that there's more than one X that's going to cross over the United Snakes. And I'm going to share my screen. And this is the part why I preface, I don't know, but I am going to share my screen. And the site that I'm going to show, I probably should play some fair use. So I'm going to go ahead and run fair use right quick. And then after I run fair use, we're going to take a look at this imagery that I got. All right. Let me find it and I'll run it. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. And this is a copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, I'm not going to hold this up any longer. I'm just going to cut directly to the screen now. I'm not in practice, so please forgive me. I'm definitely not in practice. Let's see here. I want to share that right there. Share. Okay, so you all can see what's on the screen. Now, what most Israelites have been teaching and saying is that there's an X that's because of the eclipses, there's going to be an X. But according to the eclipses, there's actually going to be a couple of X's over the United Snakes. And there's also an X on the outside here, which it crosses somewhere in the ocean. Okay, so let me take a step back. I'm going to close out this screen and I'm going to take a look at some of the documents on this, and this should help us just to kind of decode and decipher what these different eclipses are. And so notice the numbers that are going to appear. It says in a short span of 7 years, North America experiences 2 total solar eclipses. One hasn't happened yet, and 2 annular eclipses. This map highlights the path of the 2 solar eclipses in 2017 and 2024, and the annular solar eclipses of 2021 and 2023. The map provides detailed timing information about the duration of the total or annular solar eclipse. So I'm going to go back to that image, which is this one, and let me get it up. Okay, so there's this annular eclipse that happened here in 2021. It happened over North America. It didn't actually go through. We didn't actually participate in it, but it was a solar eclipse over, an annular solar eclipse over North America. Now, this one here happened in 2017 of August. It was a total solar eclipse. And this one here is an annular solar eclipse that's going to occur in October 2023 on October 14th. So this one's actually going to X in here in the ocean, which most nations claim 200 miles from the edge of their country, 200 miles out as being part of their border. So this is their so-called water, right? So the X occurs here. And so this annular eclipse that happens on October 14th will put across here. And then the final eclipse, which happens right around, notice the date, 2024, April 8th, we will be in our Passover, comes across here. informs we've been focusing on this X, but now you have 3 X's. Now, what does that mean? Most of us have seen this X here, and we've been focused on this X, and it looks like someone says in the Hebrew, something in Hebrew. But now you also have an X just below Texas. You also have an X outside of the waters here. So, what is going to befall the snakes? What is going to happen to the snakes, in the snakes? What is going to be? And I wasn't aware of that. And I'm a fan of the sisters channel. Love the sisters channel. I happened upon this, and I'm surprised I didn't I didn't see this on her channel, because I'm on her channel like every day, because she has great information. I have been tending to stay away from most Israelite channels because of the fact that if you think about it, family, there's enough sharp and great teachings in Israel that you don't necessarily need to be taught again. You already have the information. And if you don't have the information, there's enough Israelite teachings about the law, statutes, and commandments. Whereas if you don't like the brothers that salt of the earth, how they present it, you can go onto plenty of uh, Israelites that are law keepers. And that's what I recommend if you wanting to. But understanding and knowing the law and then living by it, two different things. And then thirdly, the one is even important thing. What are you doing? See, because it's one thing to know the law, it's one thing to keep the law, but then your life should show it. And then not only your life, you should be bearing fruit, because the Father has given you some great talents. The story of the parable about the talents pertains to all of us, not just the brothers and sisters that was being talked about, the brothers that was being talked about, where he gave 1 5, 1 3, or 1 1. That pertains to you too. So don't get it twisted. All of the book pertains to you. And so you would be well and wise to go by it. Now, do I have any information on this? No, I don't. But I can tell you that our people do. So I'm going to take a look at some of the comments. They are for the whole earth. Let me see. Let me scroll up a little bit and see what the family been saying. Let's see here. I'm going to pick a good spot. Let's go here and work down. Cam says we are literally at the end. The Roman New Test has us looking for mark of beast that the Romans gave us instead of fearing Yah and Yah alone. That's correct. We're looking for this mythical entity when spirit of quote Antichrist has been here. Spirit of Antichrist was here when you got sacked. Spirit of Antichrist was there when you got sacked each and every time. The Antichrist mark of the beast thing is a whole figment of Christianity's imagination. Christians believe that they are going to be persecuted for some mythical reason. Well, why would you persecute yourself? Christianity is an extension of Catholicism. You have destroyed the whole earth. And then now you're saying that, oh, we're going to get persecuted. No, you're going to get destroyed by the Father, because that's what's written. You've taken our book and you've misinterpreted, and you've misinterpreted everything in the book to fit your narrative, which is why supersessionism exists in the first place. It's your attempt to hijack the true Israelites. A Jewish person can tell you they go back all the way back to King Bulan. I can't tell you past my grandfather. I can't tell you what my people are and war and where they from, what tribe they come from. So if you could trace your ancestry back to King Bulan, you say you never have forgotten your history. How do you fit what the book says? Anyway, I'm not going to jump off into that. I want to hear what the family says about these X's. Because everyone talking about this main X right here, there's an X that's going to happen with a total eclipse and an annular eclipse that's going to happen over Texas. Why is that? Let's go and read some more of the comments. Why society, the evil, wicked Vatican, and the lying bastard Pope. Well, there you have it. Yep, there you have it. Liar. That's why he removed that title recently from his moniker. Because you had no business claiming that you was God on earth in the first place. There's nothing godly or moral about you, you pedophile, child toucher. Who on record? What organization on record has been not punishing the pedophile priests? Then had millions of children worldwide that done either murdered or done got them caught up and done twisted their mind up. And nothing has happened to them. Only thing they will do to them is say, okay, Vicar, you was doing heinous acts to children in Phoenix. We're going to move you to Denver, Colorado. And then he gets to go to Denver, Colorado and do the same thing. Isn't that fantastic? You've never been accountable for your actions. And that's the problem that you have today. That's why you are in such fear today. Because you have never had to been accountable for all the heinous stuff that you've been doing on the earth. Not one moment have you been accountable. Let's continue to read the comments. Up next says, really, our scriptures were never supposed to have two testaments. The heathen have contaminated. Yes, they have. They have contaminated, misrepresented, misconstrued, misconstructed, and that's why the whole earth has gone away backwards. The whole earth has gone away backwards, thinking that Christianity is really in the book, where I challenge anybody. Show me one Christian in the book. I do this every time I come on. Show me one Christian in the book. One. Give me their name, rank, and serial number. What tribe where they was from. Because when he was talking to those seven churches was Israelites. Give me their name, rank, serial number, tribe. Who their great daddy was. Was it Benjamin? Was it Yehuda? How about was it Gad? Show me one Christian in the book. Show me one Christian in the apocryphal books. We'll get a name, rank, and serial number. Because it's a figment of somebody's imagination. And it was a lie from the beginning. Just like their father that gave it to them. Father says you're not supposed to have no fathers, only but him. But now you got the church fathers. Tertullian. And all them wicked bastards. Okay. But you're not supposed to call nobody to call. But then you call them your church father. What's off about that? How does that even make sense? There's only one father. One. You can go by these bastards that's Johnny come latelys that came centuries after talking about, okay, you got to follow this Mickey Mouse Club religion. And mind you, your enemies never went by that religion, no way. If the enemies went by the religion, why do you got the MAGA cultists talking about, okay, let's make America great again, let's kill niggers? How do you get from point A to point B? Please explain that to me. And I'm not, you guys know how I have to preface this. It's not about the Republican and Democrat paradigm because, quite frankly, I don't give a damn about Joe Biden either. Joe Biden can die right now and go to hell. I wouldn't give a hot damn. He could bust the bottom out of hell with his crime bill. Wouldn't care 1 minute, wouldn't shed not one tear. Your enemy is no different, whether they be on the left side of the politic or the right side of the politic. Two evil wings of the same evil eagle bird. This is in a DNA. Anyway, let me get back to the comments. See what we got in here. Yeah, y'all hit the like button if y'all need to, if y'all think it's something of value. But really, let's see here. X in Paleo Hebrew equals the Tav. And so that would be this X here, signify 400 years. Okay, so there's an X here, and there's also an X here. Happens around our Passover, somewhere nearabouts. Other part of this X here is going to occur in 2023. What is going on? Well, I can only say that it's going to be more destruction for the snakes and more destruction for your enemies. And I would recommend that you stay out of the way and let the Father do his work. How do you stay out of the way, brother C? You stay out of the way by keeping his law, statutes, and commandments and having faith in Mashiach. That's how you stay out of the way. You want to be in the graces of the Father and being protected this hour? You see what's happening. You see what's happening in the snakes. These people are perplexed. When is the rapture going to happen? When is it? I always, when I think of the rapture, the first person I think of is Brother Berean. Any of y'all that go on this channel asking, when rapture? When is this mythical, when is the mythical zigzag man going to come and get you up out of this thing? When is he going to come get you out of Jacob's trouble? When is he going to come and take you where he is? Kirk Cameron, we're rapture. You done made millions and millions of dollars. When is it going to happen? Is it going to happen this year? Is it going to happen before Ukraine get nuked? Is it going to happen before Poland get nuked? What about Belgium? Where is that wicked bastard King Leopold from? Where is he from? Is it going to happen before China sacks Taiwan? Is it going to happen before the unification of North Korea and South Korea? Is it going to happen before the destruction of the Boers in South Africa? That's coming. You take your ass back to the Netherlands or wherever you from. You're not no tribe in Africa. You ain't got no connection to that land. That's not you. Go back to where you're from. Atlanta says the alphas formed with 2017, 2023, 2024 solar eclipses, and Tavis formed with 2017, 20. You guys see that? Right there. And then you see it right there. Ain't that something? Now, one would think that this is a coinky-dink, right? You guys say coinky-dink, say coincidences. If you believe that. If you believe in coincidences and that sort of thing. I don't. Everything that happens, it happens for a reason. The Father created these celestial beings, fam. Now, what I would do is, if I were you, and if you haven't done it already, is I would consult a family member that knows about what we're seeing on the screen, and consult them and ask them, because the Father is not just using Salt of the Earth Productions. The Father is not just using Lisa Cabrera. The Father is not just using my great brother. Peace to my brother Big Judah. Love him, love his channel. The Father is not giving all the information to my brother Big Levi. Love him, love his channel. My brother We Woke Now, love his channel. My brother Ibri, love him, love his channel. My brother Kadar Scales, love him, love his channel. My brother Sakarian now, love them. The warrior clan, the warrior class at IUIC, love those brothers too. The folks that was out there in the Babylon, those Israelites. That's done rouse the spirit up in Israelites that was already there. Them Israelites. They want to put that genie back in the bottle real fast. They don't want you to catch on that, hey, you're supposed to be standing up for your family when your family's in need, when your family's in trouble. Who else gonna stand up for you? Your family's in need, your family's in trouble. Who gonna stand up for them? The Israelites. That's it, and that's all. Shalom, Kiara King. If I didn't catch you earlier, let's keep reading some of these comments. Abba Yah is our salvation, the one and only, and that's it, and that's all. You can't depend on nothing else. United States is over. Yes, it is. United States is done. Been done. And see, the thing is that what they're going to do is they're going to look back and they're going to say, well, hey, nobody ever told us. Yes, you was told. You got the internet. You could go on YouTube. You could go to Israelites.com. And I just made that up. I don't know if that exists. It probably do exist. You have been given information on what is real and what is false. And you got people like, you listen to the Bible Answer Man, that liar at the Prophecy Club, and all these other liars that they got. They got a whole list line, the laundry line, Kenneth Copeland, Hagee, Joe Osteen, Creflo Dollar liar. All these liars been telling y'all this, that, and the third. I want to hear what they say about the rapture. Can they tell me something how I can prepare for it? What do I need to do to be ready for the rapture so that I won't get left here out of all these calamities? Meanwhile, you remember the water hoses. None of y'all don't hardly remember the water hoses and the dogs and the gator bait and the red summers and the contraband camps and the bombing of churches. I could keep going on and on and on and on and on. On and on and on. You can try to remove our history, but our history is actually in our DNA. And your history is in your DNA. So that can't be removed. You could try to change everything you want, try to hide from your wicked ass history, but it's not going to change the fact of what has happened. You're never going to be able to escape it and get away from it. And see, that's the part the church is not telling the enemies. The enemy can't. Is that, okay, you know what, the jig is up. These niggers done found out who they were. So now we're going to try to erase everything. I don't want you to tear down the Confederate monuments. Let them stay up. Why take them down? That's a testimony and testament, because I can find that in scripture. You put a statue up of something, that's an idol. You put a statue up of Cornwall Jackson, that's an idol. You idolize the wickedry and devilment that your people did. And then you don't want it taught in schools. We always talk about Black Wall Street, but the government was implicit in that. Who did the bombing? You don't want, we don't want our children to learn about that because that's going to be hurting their feelings. But then you teach them all kind of wicked, evil stuff behind closed doors. Anyway, I'm gonna get caught up in that. Let's keep on reading some of the comments, because that's what this is about. And then after we talk about this for a little bit more, we're gonna switch gears, and I do want to get everybody's thoughts. We're not gonna stay on long, but I do want to get everybody's thoughts on where we are currently. Monique Ann, yes, Christianity is one of the daughters from Babylon. So yes, that's right. Daughter of. Sharon, oh, peace and blessings, sis. Hope you're well. Let's see here. Yahushua is the Messiah. Jesus is the God that we know our fathers have never known. That's right. Never knew that dude. Never knew that heroin addict, stained glass. Hey, you get a reward. You bust out a stained glass window. You get a reward. But the Father bless you busting out that foolishness. Stained glass or some long, stringy hair bastard heroin addict. That ain't ever. When has a hippie in Greek art ever saved anybody? Or for that matter, when has your enemy ever saved you? And don't give me John Brown, because I don't buy that story. When has your enemy ever saved you? When the book talks about the love of many shall wax cold, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Well, who has had love? The only people that I know that had love for their enemies and everybody else was the Israelites. Everybody else practiced self-preservation. Only people on the globe that has been saying, okay, we accept everybody. We want to do it for everybody first. It's been the Israelites. When this book say the love of many shall wax cold, it wasn't talking about everybody. Because everybody ain't had no love. It's talking about you. Your love is waxed cold because of iniquity, and you're not praying for your enemies no more. That's right. And that's a good thing. I love that precept. That's a great thing. That your love and wax cold for your enemies, but not for your own. Love that precept. Got no love for my enemies, none whatsoever. Not one bit. Period. See what else we got. See, you can't find none. That was this to the question that I asked earlier. Where can you find a Christian in the book? They name, rank, and serial number. Can you find it for me? If you cannot find one Christian for me, that means that your whole religion is a big 2.1 billion adherent blunder with the 50,000 different flavors of ice cream that you got, that you probably created 100 today. Who want to bet that 100 Christian denominations was created today? Who want to bet? The broad gate that leads to destruction? Let's say they don't exist. That's right, they don't. It said 45,000 denominations are just 45 demons in the nation of Christianity. Oh boy, family still be blazing. Let's see what my sister says. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, he hath made an image of his child soon taken away. Now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man. Wisdom of Solomon 14:50. This sounds like to me, and I know who this is. You must be alluding to Cesare Borgia. And see, the Israelites is the only one that's decoding this stuff. Nobody else is decoding the book but the Israelites, and that's fantastic. How is it that that prophetic wise, when an Israelite speaks, you need to take heed and listen to it? The heathen's been talking about this rapture thing for a minute now. Not only have they been talking about the rapture, they've been talking about the junk that they've been talking about, the Antichrist, all this other foolishness, and that they gonna get taken up out of it. They've been talking about that for a minute now. Iosos was a Roman god before Yahusha came. They've been destroying those history books. You know what, Mary? I don't. Okay. I'll give my opinion on the book destroying thing. I don't know that they've destroyed any books. I believe that there's books exist that talk about us, this moment, this 2023 going into 2024, not just the prophecies that we know of. I don't believe that they're into destroying books. What I do believe that they're into is that they'll say, okay, hey, we found this artifact, we found these books. We need to get somebody whose language it's in, and we need to have them decode it for us so that we could utilize the technology or whatever that's in there. I believe that's what they do. I don't believe that they destroy anything, because their father would have told them not to destroy it. Now, would they destroy it if we could potentially get our hands on it? Absolutely, they would destroy it, because they say, "Oh, we can't let those niggers have this." Why you think they took the apocrypha and out of the books? Why you think? Why do we think they took that out? And I know, preach it to the choir, because y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know what time we on. Y'all already know. Y'all know what it is. Pam Yasser said Oxy. He the same mean dude. Ain't yelling at nobody, but he the same dude. Yeah, he's not gonna change. Let's see here. Let's see this. We see what my brother says. Technically, it was the Tanakh all along. That's why Yah was coming on a cloud. The Romans changed it to Jesus coming on a cloud. No two testaments. It's only one book. Whether they acknowledge it or not, or realize it or not, there's no book. Let's see what this is. No rapture. Read Ezekiel 20 verses 34-38. Read Hosea 3 verses 4-5. When rapture? Go ask Brother Berean when the rapture is. Because I'd like to know. All right, Yasharel Shalom. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Let's keep reading some of the comments. See, Sister Tanisha says, is that X the destruction of the heathen or our pathways to the second Exodus? That's an interesting statement. The Alpha and the Tav, folks have already pointed that out. It's crazy. But that's the Father doing his handiwork. The Father is awesome. Put a one in it. Put a one up if you believe that the Father is awesome. You say this would occur over 7 years. 7 years, somewhere in the books, there's somewhere, I think that's the number of completeness. Number of completion is 7. That's what that is. I do believe that's what that is. So let's keep on reading. I can see them in the churches with their luggage and sacrifices. Yeah, the preppers. Yeah, they prepping for it, all right. There you go. Prep your way right into destruction. JPM, I wonder if the black guy who went on North Korea border has American secrets and intel. I bet he does, but the word came out, and I believe I saw this on Lisa C channel, Lisa Cabrera channel. Peace and blessings to you, sis. I saw it on her channel that the brother was talking about racism and white supremacy, which is why he left. And then I heard a narrative where, okay, he left because he's getting ready to get charged with something. So who knows? If he has any secrets, I would advise him, if it was me, I wouldn't say anything, but at the same time, self-preservation. Self-preservation. Those underground bunkers ain't gonna say them die about. Nope, you can dig you can dig all the underground cities that you want. They got underground cities. They do. They have them built and designed. They got the technology to do that. But that's not gonna save you. It's not gonna save you from destruction. You cannot run away from what you have done. Your destruction is imminent. Now, while we're watching the destruction, what should we be doing? How should we be moving? No coincidences with Yah. Nope, never was and never will be. He does everything. He does everything decent and in order. Period. Yes, I love We Woke Now. I love my brother. I haven't listened to my brother in a minute now, but he does some fantastic work. If you brothers and sisters aren't familiar with him, go check it out. Yes, I love Big Judah and Big Levi. Now these are two brothers that will get into some of the esoteric stuff, and this is what I call stay in your lane. It's their office is not my lane, but I still love them, and I'm not gonna put them down for whatever they teach and whatever they believe. Never would. Point blank. You're not gonna never get me to say that crazy about my brothers and sisters in this truth. Pointing you back to the law, telling you to keep the law, statutes, and the commandments, and throw away, take Christianity, ball it up, take your cross off, take your stained glass, bust them windows out, and throw them in the garbage can and burn them up. Never would. Point blank. I'm not speaking against my fam. Let's see here. That's what I appreciate about you, brother. See, you don't show no partiality within there. We should not ever show no partiality. We should love each other with love and respect. See, you guys have heard the phrase "be one," and you guys have also heard the precept "be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove." We need to be moving in all circles with that in mind. You need to be able to be all things to all men and women so that you can truly win some. I'm okay with saying be one. I'm okay with my brother, Professor Black Truth. We listen to him daily. Why? Because he loves his people. If you talk about you have a love for your people that went through the killing fields of slavery here in the United Snakes of America, me and you can rock out. I don't care what you believe in. Because I know that you're going to do what you're doing in sincerity. And I'm not going to speak against you. Never would. Why would I do that? Give the enemy another wedge to put between us? To say that, oh yeah, there they go. There they go fighting amongst themselves. They'll never come together. That's a lie. You saw what happened in Alabama. You saw that. That's the family coming together. The brother, the young brother, young star, 16, 17 years old, swam across that piece of body of water, jumped up and was getting busy. That brother deserves whatever he want to do in life, college scholarships, cars, homes, whatever. Nobel Peace Prize, Israelite of the Year award, whatever. He deserves all of the accolades. Every accolade that could be bestowed upon. The Purple Heart, Medal of Honor, whatever award you want to give him, he need to win a Tony, an Emmy, and an Oscar. He need to win it all. A young star getting busy like that. Sister say the entire wicked world is there. Yeah, the wicked world is this wicked Western construct, and it's going down faster than they can recognize. But they're not considering this, and I'm drawing over it. They're not considering this. The Israelites are. Israelites considering this. Let's keep on reading. Some people don't want to study, don't want to work, do the work. Nope. And you know what else, Amar Yasharal? Israel scared as hell.
Not anymore, though. We're getting out of that slave down. I'm seeing a lot of great growth. But Israel was scared as hell of everything. Even scared of success. Why would you say that? Well, the Father will give you the keys to the kingdom, and most of us, I'm saying most of us for a reason, still want to just rest on our laurels and be comfortable. But anytime we want to jump out the windows when things start to get a little bit uncomfortable, then we'll rise. Well, now is a good time to rise when, things are quiet, but the cat's out the bag, man. Cat's out the bag. You notice something. There's correlation. Just dovetail. And we can get off this Alf and Tom, because that's what it is. I forget to remember how to even do this. Stop sharing the screen. Okay, there we go. I've been out of practice, fam, so as you know, so please forgive me. So let's talk about something else. Let's talk about current events. And I'm going to scroll down, and you guys have been blazing. And when your family gets a chance to watch this video, hopefully they're able to watch it. Hey, man, I'm just now scrolling down, bro, and just now seeing you. So if you want to join, I'd love to have you on. If you want to join on, my brother, you know what it is. Go ahead and click the link, and you can join on. For that matter, if anybody wants to join on, I don't care who you are, you can join on, and we can chop it up about whatever you want to chop it up into. And what I want to do is I want to talk about current events. Bye, peace and blessings to you, brother. Hope you are well. Josh, man, I'm just now seeing you, bro. And if you want to jump on, hit the link. And once you hit the link, I'll pull you in. I don't see a shalom in there. I'm scrolling up and down looking for it. I'm going to throw one more up. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our Father hath in heaven lies. So many that they can't even count. Vanity. You proud of the work that you've done. And things wherein there are no profit. It'll profit you that you didn't gain the whole world. And look at what that precept number is. Jeremiah 16:19. Father, you something else. You something else. 4 little girls bound up. All kind of heinous acts been perpetrated on you. And then they'll say, oh yeah, the Father turning his back because we walked away from the Father. Well, you never had the Father in the first place. It's how Satan, you never had. So let's move on. Let's move on for this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Y'all said my mic is fuzzy? Is it better now? Let me know if audio is jacked up. Can't really hear you. chat. Yeah, I am seeing it now. I'm a little bit late. Let me see. Not better. Okay, let me do some magic work here. Give me a second, fam. Give me a second. Step here. Audio.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Put a 1 up if you can hear me now, if it's better. How long has it been fuzzy? Hopefully it hasn't been fuzzy the whole time. Can you go out? Put a 1 up if you can hear me now. It's good now? Okay, I just switched over to a different mic. Let me also turn it up. Somebody jiggling wires. It's not me. I'll turn the mic volume up. Let me know if that's good, fam. About 3 minutes. Yeah, so I must have go back and check the 3 minute mark. Whatever. So I must have said something that made somebody angry who could jiggle some wires, and they start jiggling the wires. How's it going now, fam? Just for about a minute or so. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm just now getting down to where the comments are because I'm scrolling through and I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it in real time. So y'all please forgive me. So at any rate, let's talk about some current stuff. And knowing that the current events that we see happening on the earth, it all pertains to you. And so because it all pertains to you, I'm sure that the Father has given you insight as far, and he has ministered not only insight, but the Ruach has ministered to your spirit, to all of your spirits, as far as where we are. So I'm asking the question, what are you guys seeing? What's going on? Shalom, shalom, born bold truth. Shalom, peace and blessings to you. Hope you well. Hope you have been well. Hope the Father's been keeping you and prospering you. I have a question. And you guys can put a 7 up. Are you at peace right now? Are you at peace right now? And what do you mean by at peace? Well, you see all the wars and rumors of wars and everything going to hell in a handbasket. But somewhere in the book that says that your heart should not be troubled. Somewhere it also says in the book that all of these things must come to pass. I believe so. I believe that is the sister. I hope it is. I hope you've been well, sis, if that is you. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you've been well. None of you that are in the chat and none of you that claim your culture should be in fear while you see all these current things happening. You should not be in fear. You should not be perplexed. There's enough information that the Israelites have put out for you to not only know where we're at in this time-space continuum, but for you to be at peace with it. And for you to accept your responsibilities that you are about to become the head. This is a fabulous comment. I'm troubled about us trusting our children to our enemy. If you have your children in public full system, you must remove them. Sis, we're gonna have to continue that because that's very, very important. And that's a troubling thing because it's an indictment against me, and it's an indictment against the whole house. And the sister sees this firsthand. Sister, if you want to jump on, you can expound upon this statement if you want to. Except that anybody that want to jump on, you can jump on them because we're just talking about current events. Let's see here. Fear not. The heathen doesn't have fear not. Your enemies don't have fear not. Your enemies are walking away from the phony baloney religion called Christianity and Catholicism, which is all the same thing. They're walking away from that in droves because they're in fear. They're in fear because they recognize that what their father has been teaching them has been an out and out, outright lie. Point blank, period. So let me see. I'm gonna put this sister comment. I see you, Wise Society and Baya. I'm gonna throw y'all on in a second. throw y'all on in a second. Just come and get your children out of those schools. I'll bring in my family members. I'll bring in Wise Society first. Brother Baya, I'm gonna bring. Matter of fact, I'll bring both of y'all at the same time. Brother Baya, peace and blessings to you, brother. Hope all is well. Shalom, Sister Wise Society. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you are well. Go ahead and shalom the family.
Shalom. How are you all?
Shalom.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Shalom, sis. How you doing? How you been?
I'm good. I know you guys can hear this rain in the background. I just kind of wanted to update everybody on the status and condition of our children because we have to take this seriously. Um, I receive calls every day from our parents in our community, people that look just like us, and their children are being harmed in the schools. And if they're not being harmed in the schools, they're being snatched up by Department of Children's Services, Child Protective Services at an alarming rate and without justification, paperwork, or proof that the parents have done anything. And I'm starting to get very concerned about that trend. It used to be where I helped a lot of parents with issues around racial targeting, profiling, and discrimination. Now I'm helping more parents try to get their children from Child Protective Services, Department of Children's Services, where they have been picked up without cause. And all of them look just like us. So we know the tactics of the enemy. Well, they'll picking them up from school, and I don't say this to cause fear. I want to say that because when I fight, I don't come from a battle position of fear, right? Um, but what's happening is the well-oiled machine, wicked justice system that doesn't give justice. Um, I believe there's a lot of corruption with the monies that's being used in the Department of Children's Services. The courts are corrupt. The workers are corrupt. And so there's literally parents that I'm battling with right now who cannot get their kids back. And even though some of these foster parents have been proven to be abusive, to have a track record of abuse, the child welfare services will still put our children in their homes and pay them. They're moving the kids out of the cities and counties where they live at, taking them and far off from anything that they know. If they have a 3-child home, they'll take all 3 of the children, 5 of the children. I just got the 5 children back to the parents that their 5 children were taken. And what they immediately do is try to separate them, cut their hair. It's and so if you do not believe that this is happening in plain sight, it is. And this is, school is complicit, not only with the things that they're teaching our children, the way that they mistreat our children, but in that whole well-oiled machine of DCS and CPS picking up children. So I'm going to stop there, see if anybody has any questions, but I just wanted people to heed to the warning, check on your neighbor, find out if our kids are okay. Children don't just disappear. Parents are fighting a hard battle, an uphill battle. Um, and all of this other stuff is like wicked codification. I talk about codification all the time. So I know we could do another episode, and I look forward to that. I appreciate you, Brother C, for caring about this issue, because a lot of times, I try to get people to at least do their research and think about what I'm saying, and it's such a heavy issue that I don't get a lot of support with just people hearing me out. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that what we'll do is next Sun God Day around this time we can go on and we can continue pick up where we left off, and we can pick up wherever you want to,
Yes.
because it's important. Um, Let me go ahead. You can stay on, sis. You don't have to leave. You can stay on the panel. Brother
Okay.
Baya, peace and blessings to you, bro. Hope all is well. Go ahead and greet the fam.
To you, brother C. It's been a minute since I even got on YouTube with you guys. But yeah, it's good to see you. Peace and blessings to my sister and to all of your listeners. When I saw you putting up that image of the X's across the United States, and when you zoomed out, what I saw was an aleph, the Hebrew first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, the aleph. And I thought about how America was the genesis of where the slave trade began, 1619 in Virginia. And we're seeing some of the things that's already happening in this nation, because if we truly believe, as I do, that America is Babylon, that we know that there is prophesied destruction that is going to come to this land. And so we're seeing evidence of that. And there's a scripture that says that there will be signs in the heavens and on the earth below, blood and fire and vapors of smoke, I believe is what that scripture says. And so we're seeing heavenly signs that is letting us know that we are in a period of transition. And, we understand, if you are a spiritual person, that demonic activity is on the increase. People just doing some crazy, crazy stuff that you have to question whether the heinous acts that they're doing. I just saw one recently where a guy just ran up on a woman, beat the crap out of her, stabbed her up several times, and then just walked away casually. So we know that there is an increase in demonic activity in the earth. There's actually a scripture, I think it's in one of the apocryphal book, that says because of the age of the earth, it can no longer sustain or retain those demons that were trapped in it. And there's also a prophecy in the book of Revelation when one of the trumpets or seal is opened, and out of this pit comes these demonic entities that's going to attack mankind and cause suffering and that sort of thing. And so when I think of that happening, the Bible says that he's going to pour out of his spirit in the latter days. And in churches, we were only taught that this was the day of Pentecost. That's when that whole thing came into pass. But the day of Pentecost was only the genesis of that. But the pouring out of the spirit has been continual, but it's now elevated in these latter days, as it's the outpouring of the spirit that's actually waking us up to who we are. And so that same spirit is going to also grant us knowledge that we have been lacking for so long, because we were meant to be the light bearers to the rest of the world. We were meant to be the salt of the earth. And as the scripture said, when the salt has lost its savor, it's good for nothing but to be trampled under the feet of men, which is what our people have been for over 400 years. We've been trampled under the feet of men, and to be cast out. The Most High cast us out to the four corners of the earth. We were meant to be a light, and no one takes the light and hide it under a bushel. Our light has been hidden. And so now the time has come for us to shine. The Most High in Isaiah 60 said, "Arise and shine, for your light has come, for the glory of Yah is risen upon you." My son has a lighting company, and if you want to highlight a character on a stage play, you take that spotlight and you shine it on them. And this is what the Most High is doing now. He's shining that spotlight on us. Man, I'm getting goose pimples even talking about that. Hallelujah. And so he's going to raise us up in our glory. Why? Because there's a darkness that's spreading over the earth. And if you can't feel that darkness and be spiritually still blinded. And so this darkness is spreading over the earth, and the smallest amount of light shine brightest in the darkest night. And so we are going to start to shine because of this darkness that's waving over the earth. And, we're starting to see things happening on the continent of Africa. And, we can debate where the Holy Land is located. I have my opinion as to where it is. But we're seeing the young people rising up even over there, the coup in Niger, and what is going on over there, because the Most High has to prepare a place for his children to return back home. And so, anyway, I've been rambling on and on, brother, but there's just so much, man. I'm so filled in these latter days to see how the Most High is waking up his people, and to see us growing in spiritual knowledge and insight, and seeing the truth that the Bible said in the latter days that there's nothing hidden that will not be revealed. So, Brother C, I appreciate you and all the brothers for the work that you guys do, man. And it's just great to jump on with you all. I appreciate you allowing me the time to vent some stuff. Peace and blessings, brother.
Hey, peace and blessings, bro. And if you want, you can please stay on. And I must tell you that you were not rambling. You were going where the spirit led, and the family will go back, and I'll go back and listen to this again like I always do, because I like to check things for quality and sound. And the spirit was rocking through you, bro. point blank, period. And I heard the passion, I heard the zeal of an Israelite. So you wasn't rambling. What you were speaking was speaking truth. So both of y'all can stay on. And if you want to comment on something as we're going through the chat and chopping it up with the fam, you can. But we need to hear that by y'all. We need to hear that you inspired by what you see in the work that you see in the Father do. Also, my sister Y Society, we need to support what our family is doing. We do, because our children are our future, and they are literally destroying our children in the public food system. And I know my sister can speak to this more so better than I can, because she on the front lines. You know what I mean? Hey, peace and blessings to you, brother. Et, hope you've been well. Hope the Father's been keeping and blessing you. My brother says much respect to the panel. Appreciate that. We have some very powerful people in our midst, and I'm not talking about me. If you look up this sister's channel and you look up the work that this sister is doing, you would be amazed. If you knew the circle that this sister has traveled, you would be amazed. I'm talking about high-end muckety mucks that's like, okay, you've been in them circles with them people. And then she rejected that because she knew where that would lead. And I'm not gonna get into the who she know and who she don't know. I'm not gonna get into that, because that's not my place. If she want to share that with you, she can. But you're not dealing with an ordinary person.
Ooh, brother, see, it'll take us a whole day to untangle the story of me freeing myself from the grips of the boule. I mean,
Man.
when I say they tried to set rewards and traps, I done walked around landmines. Thank God for wisdom. Thank the Most High for wisdom, right?
That's right.
And discernment, because this is not for the faint of heart. But we are reminded that if we don't grow faint, we will reap a harvest if we faint not, right? We will reap a harvest. And so I'm encouraged by that. But the boule got traps, I'll tell you that. And I definitely have to, tell that story, because I think that many of our people have been conditioned by the boule and the black pastors that are attached to them, civil rights leaders and organizations. And I've risen in the ranks of those organizations to high statuses quickly. But when I'm not willing to go into wicked covenants, let me just say it like this. There are people that are actively engaging and keeping us in a perpetual state of suffering, so that we'll always be in a perpetual state of begging them. And I hope people hear that, right? They want us to look at them as the Most High. They want us to go to them for everything so that they can be our source, right? And so while they say with their mouths that they're fighting for the cause, their hearts are far from our Abaya.
And you know what's a potential trick is that because they come at you with smooth words and because they have attained something, you would think that you can go to these entities and say, okay, let's build something. I got these fantastic ideas. I got these great IPs. All I need is a little bit of capitalization. Then we could bring these things to fruition. And it took me a while to understand why we were in the condition that we were in, even outside of once you know the law, statutes, and commandments. But once you start seeing what this world really is, you will find that your biggest enemy has been the Boule, Bobs, and Bettys. Your biggest enemy, even more so than your mortal sworn enemy, because they pledged allegiance to those folks. And sis, you can check me on this, but those groups say that they're beholden to the king. Which king? Prince Charles and them?
So that's why you see them shaking hands and kissing babies with them, right? But our condition hasn't changed. The proof is in the condition that we're in. Okay. And none of their promises come to fruition. It's just a lot of nicely deodorized speeches and sermons to keep people coming back. And there are a lot, I want to call it close to occultic types of things, right? Because when I think about how some of these leaders like Jim Jones and then were able to go into our communities and get our people to do things and say things and act a certain way, there is a level of conditioning that has to happen, and there's different ways that they do it. I mean, and I'm gonna just have to call it out seriously, brother C. I'm working on a documentary to show my path from the NAACP all the way to NAN, and being in high positions and seeing that there was no help coming from them towards us and our children and the most vulnerable, the orphans, the widows, the fatherless. Okay. And the more that I made noise, the more that I was opposed. Okay, so if you were to think about this in the term of physics, right? Balanced forces, right? Forces that are equal in size and but in opposite directions. But balanced forces don't result in any change in motion. Okay, so we are got to be mindful that whenever there's taskmasters, there's also a pharaoh nearby. I don't know how to explain this to the people in a way that they won't get trapped into the things that are being said and thoughts of how good, the civil rights movement and all this other stuff that has produced nothing because we're back below ground zero. If you look at the data, if people understand where we are, they would see the truth very clearly. And I don't like having to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm telling the truth and the truth will set you free.
Indeed. Take a look at, I want both of you to take a look at this comment on the screen, because you indicted a lot of people, and you indicted the same ones that I have indicted, because the boule and the pastors of the churches are an extension of the boule and the talented tenth. Now, if you don't know their hand signals, their handshakes, and their signs, and you wasn't part of a sorority or fraternity, you're not getting in. You're not getting into that inner circle. They may try to let you get into the inner circle if you accidentally slipped through the matrix and made a bunch of money, potentially. But then you really not going to be one of them. And mind you, this is going on not in your brother C's head. This is going on in their head. So I want both of you, Brother Baya and Sister Wise Society, look at this comment from Arma Yashara. These so-called leaders are all clubbed together to carry out Hashatan's plan. What do you think about that? Both of you, and I'm going to go on mute.
I think that when we look at Psalm, and I believe it's Psalm 83, about people that have conspired against us, we need to group them in there. I believe that we have fallen time and time again into a trap of thinking that just because someone reflects our image when we're looking at them, that they're not our direct enemy. That's the best way I can say it. And so you talk about the leaders that are so all in a club together. Absolutely. Because if you look at what they're saying, how they carry out agendas, how they move, right? And the way that they operate, you'll see similarities that show that they're in some kind of wicked covenant and agreement. And it is a part of the conspiracies conspiring against us. Why is it that wherever I went to Tennessee a couple months ago and to New York before that, and I'm looking at all of these pastors and churches and on every single corner and every single block, but the condition of the people is not better. The people that are sitting right there near the churches and the pastors and everybody in these conferences, these fancy folks, can't go get help from them, and they got to call me in California. Why am I going to other states? So that was my first indication. Well, wait a minute. What's going on right here at this local organization, in this local church, and this local so-called leader? Why aren't they stepping up to help you battle this fight for the children that are the fatherless, orphans, and the widows that come and seek help? That is clear to me that we are not in agreement walking together. One of us is walking in one direction and the other one is walking in the opposite direction. So, yeah, she's right about that. I don't know if it was a brother or sister that said that, but that's correct. Oh, okay. I'm Mario Sherrill. Yes, you're right, brother.
That even going all the way back to the beginning, the Most High said that there was going to be two bloodlines in the earth that are going to be competing against one another. We know that to be the case with Jacob and Esau, but from the very beginning, the scriptures mention that the offspring, it says the seed of the woman, and the offspring of the serpent was going to be at war, enmity against one another. And so, if we understand the dynamics, the duality that Hasatan himself wanted to elevate himself as a God sitting in the place of God. And so, in order to do that, he has to have people that is working for him also. Just like how the Most High is manifest in his people, so is Hasatan manifest in those whom he can influence, who have opened up gateways for him to enter in. And so, if you go back to ancient times, why were children sacrificed? Because the blood of the innocents. The scripture says if we train up a child in the way that they should go when they are old, they won't depart from it. So you get them when they're young. And so many of these secret societies that many of these boules belong to, they understand the dynamics of the innocence of the child. And so when we're seeing children disappearing or, the kinds of things that they're being taught, this whole rainbow lifestyle that's been pushed on our children, perversion that's been in movies and cartoons that psychologically, because remember that the mind sees what the eyes don't. So that's why they can flash images and you may not be able to get the detail of it from the flash, but your mind, it registers there and it takes root and begin to grow and manifest later on in life. And so our children are being programmed so that when they grow into adults, they're going to fulfill the agenda of whomever they serve. Remember, Yeshua said this to some of the people back then, said, "You are of your father, the devil, and his will you will do." So he's got to have an army too. And who is he getting his army from? Look at the image of the Baphomet. You see a little boy, little white, a black boy and a little white girl at that image, the foot of that image. And that is what the enemy wants to do. He wants to turn everything upside down. So that's his way of getting back at the Most High so that he can point and say, look how I have corrupted your creation. And so we should expect to see these things in the earth. It's up to us to protect our children, first covering them in prayer, but also when it's unfortunate because Malcolm said it's only a fool that will let his enemy teach his children. But in many of our cases, we don't have a choice because we have to work. And so we have to send our children into these school systems to get indoctrinated and to be told that they are less than or treated in ways that make them believe that they are less than. Who can forget that experiment with the little black dolls and the white dolls and how the black children, they all answered that the white doll was the prettier one, the black doll was the uglier one, the bad doll was, we all know that story. But I saw a more recent one that was done in a Spanish-speaking country, and the same attitude still prevailed. And so our children are being psychologically programmed and psychologically destroyed by a system that was not built for them, but we have to put them into that system because we have to work as a part of that system. So that's why the Bible said that we are a people that is robbed and spoiled, right? Because of the condition that we place ourselves in. Sometimes I want to get angry at the white man, I get angry, but I have to remember that we placed ourselves in this position when we began to disobey the Most High and turn our backs on him, and he turned his back on us. So I just wanted to add that our children being targeted by these boulets, they know what time it is. And they know the power that they can get from the innocence of a child. That's why they did it back in the ancient time. And I'll yield there.
I appreciate both of your commentary. Now, what I want to do is I want to look and see what the fam in the chat was saying. Up next, even if you're in their clubs, if your spirit isn't like theirs, because you rock with your people and the Most High's hand is on you, they won't mess with you. Trust me, I know. I believe you probably know, have a lot of insight on that. Hopefully, at some point, we'll be able to get into that and share it. Sister Tanisha, Isaiah 56:10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yeah, and you'll find that a lot of us Israelites like to be asleep. Someone made a comment that they're concerned about. I wish I had started. That they're concerned about those individuals who haven't awakened yet. Now, I believe that there's an appointed time for everyone, for all Israelites, to make that decision, whether they want to accept their culture and put down all the religions or not. Because everyone should have heard by now what the truth is according to the book. Everyone should have heard by now, if you're so-called African American. I would be hard pressed to believe that there's no one on in the snakes. I would be hard pressed to believe that that you haven't heard who the Israelites are. I would be very hard pressed to believe that if you're in the Caribbean, that you haven't heard who the Israelites are. I would be hard pressed in Africa that you haven't heard that Judah is in the United States of America. I would be hard pressed that you couldn't hear that, yes, in South America, in Brazil, those people are Israelites. You would be hard pressed to find somebody that hasn't heard that, yes, those people who went through transatlantics and the people that was already there too. Those is the book people. Now, what you mean, brother? See, the people that was already there. No, I'm not talking about the invaders. I'm not talking about the Spanish. I'm not talking about the Inquisition. I'm Afro only. Y'all know where I stand on that. Wherever you go to any land and you find those depressed people that look like me and my ancestors, them people are probably more than likely the people of the book. Because he scattered you all over there. He didn't leave you in no one land talking about, okay, I'm going to place Gad in this section. And that's where you're going to find Gad at. Look up the definition of scattered. Boule, you loving to slumber. And you loving to be asleep. Some of y'all love to be asleep and don't want to get busy and do what the Father put in you. You run around, and I'm guilty of this. Running around being like, who was that was in the belly of a fish? Something about someplace. He was in the belly of a fish and he was trying to run away. Father wanted him to do a task and he didn't want to do it. Who was that? Is that you, ma'am or sir? Let's keep reading some of these comments. We read what the family has to say. Those are all sleight of hand civil rights movement. Yep. The civil rights movement is going to go down as an interesting point in history, but somebody made an important comment and I started and I want to get to it. I don't know if it's forward or back. Please forgive
So
me. I
why are
think
we
there it
still
is right there.
fighting? Right?
Go ahead, sir.
I
Go
want
ahead.
people to ask,
Mhm.
why are we still fighting for the same rights if the civil rights movement was so monumental, right?
Mm. Mm.
And anywhere you go, from Canada to the USA, you can find a little in Italy, a Germany town, all little Chinatown, all of that. But as soon as we say we want something black, I'm just going to call it that because that's what the census says. It's attacked, bombed, called segregation. No, you can't do that. Heavy oppression comes out. No funding for that. No, that's affirmative action. Well, why didn't they say that about Chinatown? Why
Mm.
didn't they say that about Germantown? Why didn't they say that about Little Italy? You could walk in any state and find one. None of that is considered an affirmative action issue. So I question people when they say the civil rights movement, are we still moving on the movement? Like, is the reconstruction still happening? These are just buzz terms that I think are a distraction and keep us going to march and protest And they look at that as, oh, here they come again. You know, they're going to march, protest, and cry and beg us like parents for something.
Yeah, to me, that's a anytime you talk about marching or doing these kinds of things is a way for the boule to make money. Now, I think to your question, the answer, the sister right here put it succinctly, in that we've always been fighting for equality, and this is a current mindset. So this falls in line with current events. Your current mindset should be that you were never meant to be equal with your enemies or anybody else on the earth. And so why are you always trying to fight for equality? I never considered myself equal to anyone. Your mindset should be that, yeah, I'm not equal to you. I've never been equal to you. You've been striving for something that you shouldn't be attempting to attain. Equality. And equality and equity are two different things. If you say that you're going to give somebody equity, okay, that's great. But let's not pretend that we're equal. We're not equal. And so you need to get that out your mind. Current day event. Today. Get that out your mind that you're equal to somebody, because you're not. You are constructed to be equal with no one. No one has gone through what you've gone through. No one is as innovative as you. No one is as great as you. So how are you equal?
See, we've been so used to getting beaten down, brother, that even the thought of saying we're the chosen people gets people suffering from cognitive dissonance. See, the mainstream people, they show themselves that they're white supremacists. They showed in every one of their movies, all the imagery that they show of ancient people. They have no problem whitewashing history. But then when we begin to, like what the whole melee over the Cleopatra saga, or the whole melee over the Little Mermaid. I remember when Thor came out and they got Idris Elba to play Hemdell, I think was his name. That folks lost their mind, right? But we've had to endure their imagery for generations. And then it always leads me back to Esau and Jacob. The Bible said that two nations are in your womb, and from you two manner of people are going to be separated. That the oldest shall serve the younger. But what it's saying is that the two people will never rule at the same time. One is always going to be up and the other is going to be down. Esau has a perpetual hatred for us. So when we see strangers come amongst us and they get up very high and we come down very low, that is one of the biblical prophecies that was going to happen to us. I came from Jamaica. The Chinese are running things in Jamaica, right? Well, they're running things about a lot of places, but we see it happen in our communities. The Arabs come in, set up shops, boom, they make money. The Chinese come in, set up restaurants, boom, they make money. Nail places, salon, they make money. But you try to go to their neighborhood and set up anything, they're not gonna, you'll be out of business in a month. Because
Yeah.
once again, it's that hatred that they have for us, that is something about us when we come together, that it just does something to them deeply, spiritually, and emotionally, that they react to us in a whole different way. Sorry to cut you off, brother.
No, no, keep going. Sorry about that. Hold on a second. You caught me amiss while I was drinking my chia seed water. At any rate, let's take a look at this comment. And Shalom, observant deprogram. Peace and blessings to you. Hope you've been well. And I see everyone in the chat are making some very awesome comments. And like I always do, when you go back and look at the video and when you share this with family, make sure they have the chats on and that they can pause and read the commentary that's going on in the chat, because the Israelites are, you guys are awesome. And you guys provide a level of excellence to any shows that we put on. It's really about you, which is why I'm glad we're having this conversation. So, Observer Deprogram, I want to switch gears and I want to talk about this for a little bit. And Observer Deprogram, I'll put the link in the chat if you want to join on and discuss this, because this again is one of those, we're talking about current events. And We're not necessarily talking about the destruction that's happening, although that's part of the current events. But everyone here that's in the chat should have a story as far as their own individual life, as far as what the Father is doing with them and how He's working with you in this current time to prepare you for leadership. Leadership, what you mean, Brother C? Well, if you're going to become the head, I always ask you guys, what are you going to be doing? Anyway, not to get too deep of that. Observe D program. There is much information on 2023 being a Jubilee year. I'm trying to do the math without success. If you can, send us an email, because that's a conversation that we could have with Brother Elisha, Brother Banya, Brother Najid, and because we like these types of what I call puzzles. Now, do we have the answers to that? No, but if the Father presses upon us, I'm sure that we can get to those answers. See, I'm not of the belief that everything is my office, but I am of the belief that if we attack something, no matter what subject it is, the Israelites will be able to get the answer to it. And I don't care what it is. There's not a subject or topic or anything biblical or scriptural that the Father will not give to us this hour. Somebody go find a precept where it says, seal the book until the time of the end. Are we not in the time of the end? Did he not say that knowledge would increase? He didn't say that knowledge, or he only will show you some stuff. That's why it's not good for us to be putting down other Israelites, because they are operating in their lane. It's not wise to do that. Just because they don't follow a specific formula or do a specific phrase, abracadabra, presto changeo, there you have it. The Father done spread this whole thing out amongst who he chose. You know, one group or clique could talk about, oh yeah, you got it all. Because you a liar if you're saying that. You can't say that you got you all knowing, all seeing. That's why we need to be clicking up more. So what I'll say to you is this, Observer D program, you got our email, saltearth144@gmail.com. Send us an email, and that could be something that we attack and tackle together. Because if this is a Jubilee, it's funny that a Jubilee, and right after Jubilee, then you got something going on with that Aleph and Tav that's over the U.S. I don't know if that happens anywhere else on the earth. I don't know. But it happened over a 7-year period, according to what we read. You're not equal to anyone. What's today? What they say today is what is it? Sunday, Sun God Day, August 2023. Your mind is that you're supposed to be ruling over everyone. You never were equal to anyone. So stop thinking that way. Now, I'm not here to detract from what any of our people have done. I'm not. Nor am I here to defame or throw them under the bus. Because quite frankly, your civil rights movement, you wasn't operating under LSC, so it would have failed anyway. Now, if I take my Israelites brothers and sisters now, and I give them the law, statutes, and commandments, and they operating under that, now you got an unstoppable force. They can't be stopped. I could see you becoming the head because, hey, you're operating under your culture. You get back to your culture. You calling to mind Deuteronomy 30. Somebody get that precept. You calling that to mind. That was the missing link in the civil rights movement, to be honest with you. Just imagine. And I'm a child of that movement. I'm a child of the 60s. Just imagine. And I saw the things that the brothers was doing. I saw the Black Panthers in real time. Black Panthers was giving out free food because I'm from the Bay. Black Panthers was teaching us self-defense. We had African dancers at the schools and all of that. They was busy. I know you got certain boxing clubs in certain cities, but what's our martial art? Yeah, that pisses me off, quite frankly. What's you them or the dispersed? What's their martial art that they supposed to be handed down to their children? Every group of people got theirs. Where's ours? Where's our fighting system?
Well, I mean, if people study the art of capoeira or Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I would say that's one of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, because we did that to preserve ourselves from the wicked enslavers. Had to create a whole dance slash warfare position to do it, and conceal that we were practicing in daylight this warfare tactic.
Okay, so having said that, and I appreciate that because that definitely is ours. Is Krav Maga ours? Because I know that 52 blocks and you call Jailhouse Rock, that's ours too. I know that's ours. But how many people know about these things? You know what I mean? Let's see, our fighting just how play in Bama. Yeah. Okay, y'all got jokes. Y'all messy. You messy bringing that up, telling them that they took a L during that time. They took a L, but see, that's what I'm saying. We had to get the internet, and I'm saying me. I had to get the internet to understand these different styles, right? I wish I would have been able to teach my children some of these styles growing up. But this is definitely one of ours, and it's pretty deadly too. And it's a combination of what I liken to some of the movements are dance, but if you consider the arts and the art of martial arts, you'll see a little bit of dance in most of them. It's kind of like borderline dancing, but it's not, right? And who are the most rhythmic people on the earth? I'll say the Israelites. Period. Most rhythmic people are the Israelites, and these arts operate on a rhythm. They operate on timing, and a lot of them are pretty smooth. And a lot of them, if you look at them, hey, you know what? The Israelites must have been involved with that because man, they just they got a way about them on how they move. It's not robotic, right? So I wonder if Krav is one of ours, and I've always have been interested in that. Not that I know how to use it or anything like that, but that's a whole nother kind of conversation. Let's look at some of these comments. Our fighting scholar. Okay, so yeah, we put that one up. Since you wrong for that, you need to get saved. I'm gonna say that you need to get saved. Let's see. Tiro Machete in Haiti. Never heard of that, but I'm going to assume that that's using swords and using the machete to fight with. Let's see here. My sister Notorious says, "Beat the brakes off you to a study, Pete." And that's current events has would suggest that what you saw in Bama, and I believe Brother Banya, I watched the show that he did on that. Um, that's something that has them a little bit frightened because they don't want to see that being a recurring thing. But you're going to see a ramp up in what you saw in Alabama, and it's a foreboding things to come. Jabroni, I saw you in the chat. Shalom, brother. Peace and blessings to you. I saw the eyes pop up, and it's good to see you. And like I said to everyone earlier, although I don't jump on when the brothers are on, when they're on live, I'm always in the chat. I'm always reading what's taking place. All of the comments I always read, and all the comments in the videos after the fact I always read. So, although I'm not saying anything and although I'm not busy, I am behind the scenes and I am watching. Shalom, Lynn. Peace and blessings to you, sis. Hope all is well. So let's look at some of the comments. The Asians stole martial arts from the ancient Egyptians. I wouldn't say that that's not true. I would say that that's more than likely to be true, because if you look at it, the Egyptians probably was an apex civilization. Now, the art here's a crazy argument. Um, they'll argue you up and down that the Egyptians were European, or now they'll say they were Middle Eastern. But here's the issue, and the reason why they stand on that is the fact that the pyramids, and they say that, okay, well, you haven't built any civilizations, and the only thing that you have is potentially the pyramids, but you didn't build those because you guys are still living in huts. Now, here's what I would say to that. And most of these people, these white supremacists that espouse that, and those along with them, because you got the the model minorities that do that as well. What you need to do is you need to do research, because you can find pyramids all throughout Africa.
They're in
And
South and Central America too.
exactly. So was Tom Cruise in them in South Central America too?
He said
No, I'm
Tom
just
Cruise.
saying. I'm just saying
But
because
you know
because
what? This brother brings up a good point too, though, because even sumo wrestling is a martial art. I don't know if people know that. And the term sumo comes from the word rikishi in Japanese, which means strength warrior. Okay. But that word rikishi is comes from a different etymology that ties back to the Proto-Indo-European, or I would say Afro-Asiatic, right? And so it's important that we do that research and then break down the word etymologies to see where the word derived from.
that's a point that we're always making here, and that's something that uh, we should look at when we look at a precept. We have to look at the whole precept, and we have to decode everything, and part of that is going back and looking at the word etymology, even if you have to use the Hebrew, but going back and looking at all of it, because the the way that's gonna safeguard you from the misdirection that Christianity has thrown at you. Jabroni, you're out of pocket for this one, man. You're way out of pocket. I wanna look at this comment, because this comment is telling. From Observer D program, Notorious Hebrew agreed. I had to learn how to be comfortable with not caring about how they feel. I'm good now. Now I want to ask, because I didn't pick up the comment before. Um, let's see here. I'm going to assume that based on that comment, Observer, that you're talking about this one. We are different, and they will always hate us. This will never change. And so I'm going to assume that you're speaking on that particular comment. So here's where I am, and here's where I've always been. I think you guys, everyone already knows this, you male and female alike, that I don't give a damn about what the heathen or anybody else thinks about me being an Israelite. I don't run around telling people that I'm an Israelite personally, because it's nobody's damn business. That's part of that wise as a serpent thing. We
You
don't
know
have
what,
to.
brother? See, can I?
Go
I
ahead,
want
sis.
to. I want to say something about this too.
Go ahead.
Um, we, I think as a lot of people are coming into the understanding of who they are, it's important to also recognize that we lived under an oppressive regime of liars who are not the moral or justice authority, not the truth authority, and therefore have nothing to say about us and our identity. Now, they like to say a lot, but nothing that they say is true. And we can't even look at them as the moral compass of the truth about who we are and how we should carry ourselves. Even though they tried, I tell moms all the time, it's interesting how our grandmothers nursed white babies for hundreds of years, and now white women have the nerve to tell us how to rear our children when they didn't rear their own.
Imagine
Okay.
that. Imagine that. Go
Imagine
ahead.
that we listen, though. Why would we listen?
You know why though? You know why, sis, we would listen? And I'm gonna say this, that a lot of that had to do with the hypnotrance of Christianity. I would say that
Well,
that's probably the biggest obstacle to anything that you ever wanted to achieve. You put down that madness. You put that mess down. Now notice. You can take the average Israelite that understands their culture now. And I'm not talking about the ones that straddling the fence talking about, okay, yeah, I'm a Christian, I'm an Israelite Christian, or I'm a Christian light, which to me, you're ridiculous for even talking about you're a Christian and you're an Israelite. You can't be both. It's an impossibility. But let's just say that for the sake of argument, that if we look at those who have accepted their culture and where their current mindset is, you're not going to be running around talking about you equal to Tom Cruise and them, or that you would even accept doing some of the foolishness as far as doing stuff like, oh yeah, I'm going to get on camera. You just mowed down 10 of my people, but I'm going to forgive you.
remember when the judge hugged that man and the lady in court that killed the
Oh
brother?
boy.
Oh, I was so
Oh
mad.
boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Whew. That's one of the first things I think about. And they was touching her hair. I think that was that wicked entity that shot Botham John, if I'm not mistaken. They was caressing her and rubbing her and comforting her. And I'm like, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
You can't be serious. So that's a Christianity mindset where you need to forgive. When your enemy, okay. Has any one of these people ever asked for forgiveness?
Well, they be telling us to turn the other cheek all the time, and I wanted them to show. See, now you about to
Okay.
crank me up. They tell us to turn the other cheek all the time, and when they say that to me, I say, "Show me how you did it,"
Hmm.
because they're hypocrites.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that they say we should do, they haven't carried out themselves.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And they never will, because you know why? It's not in their DNA to do that. We were, as far as Christianity goes, we were the only people that were trying to follow, and I'm not talking about pastors. We were the only people that were trying to follow that mess to the letter. Why? Because we are a spiritual people. It's innate in us to try to find and operate under truth. Now, you showed me in the book where it says I'm supposed to forgive my enemy after he done beat the hell out of me and mowed down 10 of my family members, Gendron in Buffalo. Show me where I'm supposed to forgive you. No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go by Psalms 109. And matter of fact, Gendron and about 20 or 30 of his ancestors and family need to be plunged headlong into hell. Period. And I make no bones about that.
I bring this up quite frequently about Abraham rescuing Lot, and when he found out that Lot was taken, he gathered 318 of the trained family members of his own household, and went and got Lot, the children, and everything else moving. And so that's the example that I see, right, throughout scripture about how we handled situations when we were threatened, our families were threatened. I think about the Gadites, right? First Chronicles 12:8, how they defected to David. And what it says, defected to him at the stronghold in the wilderness, mighty men of valor, men trained for battle, who could handle shield and spear, whose faces were like the faces of lions and were as swift as gazelles on the mountains. But when we're taught about our enemy from our enemy, do we really recognize them for who they truly are?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you coming in loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah. This. I got a bounce, but as you were talking about that, just something that just came to mind, right? That Yeshua, towards the end, told his disciples, said, "Remember, I told you to sell your cloak and buy, or sell your sword and buy a cloak." Now he's telling them, now you need to sell your cloak and buy you a spear or a sword. And one of the brothers said, "Well, yeah, I got two." He said, "One will suffice." So why would he need that if there wasn't a battle coming? Why is the scriptures telling us to put on the whole armor if there wasn't a battle coming? There's a scripture that said that it is he that teaches my hand to war, or something like that. See, we lost that warrior mentality because of what they did. They beat the fight out of us.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're starting to get to the point where it's like, nah, we're not taking this line down anymore. It's one thing when the cops are doing it because we know that they have a system that's behind them. But when it's just Joe Blow citizen doing it, that's another thing entirely. And our people are just fed up. We're just tired of seeing us abused. And then the people who do the abusing just get away. There's a scripture that says that they that murder you hold themselves harmless. That's that James 5 scripture that said that we were powerless to do anything against them. But see, as the Most High is turning his face back to us, man, it's raising a boldness in our people where, these Karens are, coming up to people. I like the fact that even at that Alabama brawl, them sisters came out there slinging fists too. So, we're living in a different time. And Esau's reign is coming to an end, and they can sense it. And that's why it's time for us to prepare for war. And so, once again, Brother C, thanks for all that you guys do. I enjoy chopping it up with you guys. And peace and blessings to the family. And I'm going to go ahead and bow out.
Hey, peace and blessings to you, bro. Appreciate the commentary. May the Father bless you immensely and that he keep you. And next time we're on, you're more than welcome to jump on, brother. Love you. Be well. All right, I want to address this last comment, and then I want to address my sister Born Both, and we're going to go sideways and out. Bantu Hebrew Israelite Awakening. Martial arts is called Kashet in Hebrew. And Jedediah Melech hosted our fellow Hebrew Israelites from Yemen who showed that heathens stole martial arts from Hebrews and martial art moves are Hebrew letters. Hey, you know what? I would be interested, and I'm familiar with Jedediah Melech. I believe, is that the brother who wrote rewrote the Bible? He didn't rewrite it, but I believe he transcribed it into a language that I'm not sure if it's English or if it's Hebrew, but he was working with the Bible. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, I'd be interested in understanding more about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link up to our email again. And brother, Bantu Hebrew Israelites Awakening, if you could send us an email with respect to that, maybe even drop a link in the chat. I'd love to watch that because it disturbs me personally that our culture has been not only hijacked, but we have to put everything back together brick by brick. Now, what's interesting and great is that there's a lot of information online that we can get to and that we can absorb and that we can have and claim as our own. And so what I would suggest to you is that if you want to drop a link to that video or that teaching or that study, please do that or drop us an email, bro, because we're a little bit different than some of the other channels in that we like talking about other channels. We like talking about our other brothers and sisters that are doing fantastic works, and we don't shy away from that because I don't believe that we should be not doing that. I always talk about when I'm on. I will mention different channels, like my brother Dante Forson. His name just popped into my mind of one of the people that I'm always big up in because the brother does a great work. So any brother or sister who's doing work that's telling us, first of all, hey, get back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and be a law keeper, or any Israelite in general, I'll big up them because we need to be coming together. And one group doesn't have the answers, but just imagine one group doesn't have all the answers, but just imagine as we're coming together, Alabama, as we're coming together, Kyrie and IUIC. As we're coming together, we're going to be more on code. We're not going to be putting down and falling for all the righteousness, chasing the tail, chasing these train wrecks, online or otherwise. We're gonna be on code. We're not gonna be telling you all about it. I saw a sister had said talk about telling our plans and how we move. We're not gonna be telling our plans to you. And I'm gonna address my sister. Good to see you, sis. Hope you're well. Hope you've been well. I said that a few times already, but you know I care about you. So this is my little sister right here. And this is what she says. I get constantly abused by my own because I care not for a drop that falls from the bucket. And I only got one thing to say to you. One thing, and that's it. Do not ever change who you are for no man or no beast. And I'm gonna leave you with that. Because I know how you get down. Do not change who you are for no one. Period. You keep being who you are, sis. Point blank, period. You don't change yourself for nobody. You follow the Father. As the Father has instructed you to move. You don't have to be caring about nobody's feelings. Nobody cared about your feelings. Nobody cared about your feelings when heinous acts was perpetrated on you and your loved ones. So why should you give a damn about what somebody think? Huh? No, for real. Who was there when heinous acts were perpetrated on you? And what was they saying? Huh? Who was there when the heinous acts was perpetrated on our ancestors and what was they saying? Huh? Tell me. Tell me who it was. Who did something, who said something. Anyway, we're going to sign off. Sister Wise Society, it was great having you on, and we're going to commit to doing the show next weekend, and we're going to pick up where we left off. And again, your brother C being lazy dropped the ball. So I confess that to the whole house of Israel that it's on your brother C to do what he said he was going to do. So we're going to pick up where we left off, and we're going to get into how we should be moving. And fam, you keep in mind that the current events, not just what's going on with the earth, but current events, what's going on in your life. And what are you doing? How are you moving? Are you a law keeper? Do you put a one up if you believe that Mashiach was the word? Do you believe what he said when he come in the full volume of the book? I don't know. I don't know that Israel believed that. I'll put my one up. I'll beat y'all. You put a one up if you believe that what he said when he said he come in the full volume of the book. I'm not leaving until I see everybody that's listening put a one up. I'm
Can
not
I
leaving
say
until I see
something
it.
before we leave, Brother C? And I
Oh yeah. I'm gonna
appreciate
let you.
you.
I'm gonna let you close out, sis. I'm gonna let you close
Oh,
out. Go ahead.
okay. Yeah, look, I'm over here looking at the wind blowing, and we got so many text messages from Edison and Spectrum, so I don't know if I'm gonna get shut off here soon. Um, I want people. My dad, he always says the frequency of a wrong doesn't make it right. And when we get ready to just do things out of habit, we need to disrupt that and be intentional about doing something else. So, what do I mean? People are going to be dropping their kids off tomorrow at school and need to be challenged by that. Do you really believe that your enslaver and oppressor's grandchildren and children want to educate your children? And yeah, we think they're adorable and cute and we love our kids, but you see, when you take them, they enter one way and come out a way that they were never created or fashioned or designed by the Most High to be. And so that should tell you enough about the environment that they're in, that they do not belong in those environments. So I want to just exhort people with that. The frequency of a wrong doesn't make it right, and try to think of another way so that our kids are not being handed over every day to the enemies of their souls, of their minds, of their bodies. And that's where you'll find me. I appreciate the time. I'll see you guys next time. I'll be praying for your family and your household out here in this storm. And I just, shalom, peace, and blessings to the family. Thank you very much.
Shalom, sis. And like I said, we're gonna do it next Sunday at around this time, next Sun God Day. Peace and blessings to you, family. It was great having you all join on with me today, and I appreciate you. And like we always close out, this has been another Salt of the Earth Productions. Are you guys paying attention to what the Christian church told y'all? Y'all know y'all got to get saved because ain't none of you Israelites saved.